We'll do it live, damn it. Oh, look, here they come. Let's see. Shazam. And let's see. Hey, welcome, Chris. First time for you here. Awesome.
Yes,
finally, face to face. Although I'm pretty sure we've met at some of the toy shows, I believe, right?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's been a long time.
Because I got a feeling I know you through Ken, maybe? Ken Wentz?
No, I don't think so. I think
the
only toy shows I've really been to is the ones that were in Grimsby all those years ago, and
okay,
like one in
Burlington. Like at the Peachtree Arena.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's Jamie Rosier's.
Yeah.
And that's the first and last time I'll mention his name. 9 Live Bricks, Shazam, hello. Nice, people are popping in. For those of you that are members of our Facebook group, I will drag your names into the spinning wheel shortly, and maybe in the half-hour mark, we'll spin it up on screen. And it's the honor system. You guys have to be a member of our Facebook group, Bricklink Lego Stores of Canada. There'll be at least 3 prizes, cash first, and then Marilyn has donated a Lego set, and Brad is donating points redeemable when you sign up on his site for his loyalty program, which is, of course, free to join. And Brad's trying again. Shazam! Brad's on. And we got audio.
Hello, everyone. Woohoo!
Hey, Brad.
Tracy's muted, though.
Yeah, because I have the other 2 members of the 3 Gen also here. And they're like, don't put me on microphone. Don't put me on microphone.
So who am I missing?
Missing Shane.
I'm sorry?
You're missing Shane.
Hey, Freeman.
Yeah. I messaged him a little while ago. He hasn't read it yet.
Oh. So you forwarded him the link? Because that'll help greatly if you do that.
I can do that.
So while we're going around, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I am going to... Wow, my screen... I would think it'd be big enough for you guys.
Oops.
Yeah, I'm giving you a moment, Marilyn.
What, to introduce myself?
Introduce yourself to the stream.
Well, I'm Marilyn. I've been into Lego for about, most of my life, but kind of seriously for about the last 10 years. I do this in my retirement. I enjoy it. It helps fund my other hobby, which is I show horses. So they cost money. And I have about 180,000, give or take a little bit, parts in my store. I sell mostly parts. I'm not really into minifigures. I do sell some, but just kind of, I'm as busy as I want to be. I can take time off when I need to be. And so far, I've had great success on Bricklink. I rather enjoy selling on Bricklink. So that's me.
Awesome. All right. Let's jump to hot seat. Tracey.
Hi there. I'm Tracey from 3 Gen Brick Fam.
Hi, Tracey.
We are a fairly new store. Only started Bricklink since April, in the middle of the kitchen renovation that you can see. We actually run our store out of 3 cupboards in the kitchen. So we're fairly small, but growing slowly. My plan is to have this as a side hustle by the time I retire, which is in 5 years, 3 months, and however many days. Not that I'm counting.
I love that.
But my day job, I dispatch for the fire department. So Lego has been a real big help for me, especially during COVID, because we were pretty busy at work, as you can imagine. We do over 50% of our calls are medical calls. So our call volume actually increased during COVID, and Lego is my big stress reliever. And I'm really lucky that a couple of the people that I work with really enjoy the sound of sorting Lego. They would like me to record it. So they don't mind me bringing my Lego in on night shift to do some sorting. But yeah, our Bricklink store is fairly new, but so far it's going really, really well. And the other two of the generations I have, my mom is also very much into Lego. And one of my kids is very much into Lego and has been since he was young. So right now we're dealing in new parts, but we have a pretty big backlog of our used parts that we will eventually get up and listed in the store as well.
Nice, nice. Marshall,
Hello, hello.
let's put you up on the hot seat.
Hi, Marshall.
Hi, Brad.
This is the second time around for Marshall on the summit.
So I run Sherwood Park Bricks. Been selling on Bricklink for about 5 years. I do new and used. And my end goal too is have a pretty big store for when I retire and do this full time. But that's a long way away.
Nice.
Yeah.
James, let's switch out.
Hey everybody, James.
Hey, James.
I'm Newfie Bricks. I don't know if any of my buyers are on, but hello. It's been a pleasure to serve you guys, I guess, and good luck on my draw. I would say my hobby, I've always had the hobby, but it's been more serious during COVID. So I've done really well. Thank you for contributing to my hobby as part of my modulars. So thank you.
All right. And let's see. I'm a little slow on this because there's too much on the screen. Chris.
Hello.
Hey, Chris.
I'm Chris, Beamsville Bricks. I've been selling on Bricklink for 7 years. I sell a bit of everything. I originally started just as something fun to do, and I grew the store more to do something with my kids. They obviously have a super interest in Lego. Started off as like funding my habit. Now it's turned into part-time business that the kids help me with. And yeah, I don't have any big aspirations for the future other than to continue with what I'm doing at the size that I am.
Nice. Now, let's see. Who's pretty that we could put on screen? I don't know if I got any pretty people left. There we go.
Oh, my God. This is not a pretty person.
I could put it on the other screen.
Yeah, well. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Brad, owner of BTLG Bricks. Every time we do this, it seems like we're at an AA meeting. Hence all my, oh, hi, everybody. I managed to finagle a love of Lego, which was reinvigorated for my kids. From part-time into full-time. I quit my job a number of years ago, and this is what I do for a living. It's been fantastic. I've been able to develop my own website. We've added a showroom. There's so much going on right now. It's at times can be a little bit overwhelming, but it's also the most fun I've ever had. I'm home all day. I'm with my kids. I'm with family. It's the best thing I've ever tried to do. So welcome, everybody, and let's have a great day today. How was that for lame?
No, that was pretty good. And that's her group. You know what? It's not just Shane. Because Dan's in here. That means I'm also short. Shane didn't show. Oh, Adam, Wildrose, right? Yeah, Wildrose didn't show. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, everyone. Well, we'll get started. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I'm glad we were able to do this again. It was a lot of fun last time. Oh, hey, hang on. Who's in the private? Oh, you already made it, James. This is how slow I am at catching up on the messages. Some echoing? Really? How about everyone else?
I'm good.
No, yeah, good.
Yeah. The only thing I could recommend for the echoing is maybe using a headset, plugging it in. Yeah, like
Okay.
even, cell phone headphones or even real cans. Because that's usually recommended by the software when you first connect, I think.
Okay, I'll see if I can get a headset. I'll be back.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be Beethoven.
Awesome. So I know we had some really good questions in the Facebook group. Shipping and shipping alternatives. What have you guys figured out? Is there something other than Canada Post? Is Canada Post still the best, or was it never the best way to ship across Canada? And I assume, most of these questions should be Canadian based anyway, because that's probably a large part of your clientele, short of maybe two of you I know who do a lot of international shipping. Anyone want to take that on? Maybe Marshall? What's your experience?
Well, Canada Post right now has just gotten ridiculous with the fuel surcharges that they're charging now. So if you can still find a flat rate box, that's good. But other than that, my parcel shipping, I'm using UPS.
Okay.
If UPS can ship to them. Because, what used to cost me $11 to ship from Sherwood Park to Edmonton was like $9 to $10. It's gone up to $16.
Okay.
So it's just getting crazy. And now the fuel prices are coming back down. At least here in Alberta, they're not seeming to change those surcharges and probably won't for a while.
Nope.
There is Chit Chats shipping too. They're here in Edmonton. I've looked into them, but it's quite a drive for me to drop off at their distribution center. So I'm waiting for them to open up more locations, which is supposedly going to be going into every possible. So waiting to see on that.
Okay. Marilyn, what's your experience with shipping? Have you found some shortcuts or tips? Or
Well, I'm a little limited. I tend to use UPS sometimes. I have a fly flying around my face. UPS, or I have to stick to Canada Post, and I upped all my postage rates, and people are still. I thought it was going to kill a bunch of my orders, and I'm crazy busy, so it hasn't. I think people understand to a degree that everything's going up. I live rurally, so I have to drive to the post office or drive the other way to the UPS. So I still have more costs to incur other than just, dropping it in a mailbox or whatever. And I've only ever had one letter mail go missing, and that was just a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, or it hasn't showed up yet, might. Yeah, I've had one kicked back to me that they said the address was wrong, and then I just resent it to the same address because I'd already sent it there and it went through. So, yeah, I think it was just crappy postal workers. But I ship about probably 30% to the US. I only ship to Canada and the US. And to the US, I tend to use UPS because it's usually faster and cheaper. I just stick to using net parcel through PayPal for my shipping because I know the other options really aren't feasibly or available to me. So,
how many of you are using net parcel? Is that really common now that as a whole? Because I'm hearing that more and more people using net parcel.
It's the only link now when you go on to PayPal and you click the ship button. So.
Yeah.
Really, that's it now.
Yeah, it's nice. It gives you the options and stuff for like Purelator and UPS and Canada Post, so you can compare and.
Yeah, because I did some recent deals and they were just throwing net parcel at me. It's like, oh, what, really?
Yeah.
See, I'm not a store like you guys, so I'm learning. Yeah. I'm learning from you guys here.
Yeah.
Okay, so James is playing with audio. Tracey, how you doing, my dear?
I'm good. So far, we've been, again, pretty small. Like our orders are still shipping for the most part oversized letter. So I'm lucky that we have a really great Canada Post outlet very close by that I can pretty much hit whenever I'm running errands. So it doesn't cost any extra for me to get there. And they've been super helpful as far as making suggestions. They're pretty well stocked as far as if I have to get like one of the flat rate shipping boxes, things like that. But they're really like the full-time staff that are on day shift are like really helpful in suggesting, hey, you could maybe do this cheaper, or always offering for me to come in to weigh something and get a quote beforehand. So yeah, they've been super helpful in starting us up. But right now I would say 90% is oversized letter. My biggest problem so far has been people expecting me to be as fast as Amazon, which we're not, especially not to the States. Like I had somebody that messaged me 2 days after they paid, asking why they haven't received their order yet, because it was only a 22-hour drive from my address to their address. And I'm like, but I'm not driving the order to you. And it has to go through customs. So yeah, Canada Post has been okay for us right now. And yeah, we'll look into other things as we grow bigger and start doing a lot more parcel shipments.
Awesome. Dan's not a store, but do you ship? You're muted, buddy.
Yeah, I just don't want to make noise for you guys. Yeah, no, my experience worldwide with shipping over the last 20 years is just like what you guys were already saying. The price has been nuts, going up. Shipping anything from the States here to Canada has been crazy. They charge an arm and a leg for USPS, depending on the size volume of the box, because it's not always by just pure weight. Canada Post, like you guys are saying, is just the ridiculous pricing. You know, we used to be able to ship something across Canada for what, $12 on average. And now it's like, you know, shipping something to Nova Scotia cost me $25 the last time I sent something. So I'm just like, that's kind of screwy, because I'm in the infancy of what you guys are all doing and just trying to set up a mega block store, you know, loose end box stuff. That's why I've been kind of stockpiling for the last few years. And yeah, it's just getting kind of ridiculous. Everything's gone up, right? The inflation is just ridiculous. So, but that goes, you know, across the board for everything we're paying for these days. But for what that chit chat that I think it was Marshal was talking about, that's only in like urban centers. You're not going to get that anywhere in the small towns. So I think for Southern Ontario, it's only like Toronto and Hamilton area that I've seen it. But I'm not going to drive an hour in traffic or more to go drop off to save a couple bucks overall for sending something out. But it always seems like it's always cheaper to ship it to us. But I don't see that either. Even my friends in the States who send me stuff up, it just seems expensive, right? As soon as you cross that border, the postal rate triples for some stuff. But with you guys using UPS, are you getting, are the customers getting dinged with customs charges? Are they getting brokerage fees? Or is that all part of the final price? If anybody can answer that.
Brad?
UPS going south, I don't believe they do the brokerage fees like they do coming in.
Yeah.
Because I send a lot of other things UPS besides Lego, and I've never had anybody say they've had to pay any extra fees.
Marilyn, that totally makes sense, because I know we have that crappy $60 Canadian value. Like for anything that comes in, then you get charged.
See, they have a way higher.
They have 200 plus on that one, if not higher now, with all they want people to spend money. So that makes sense now. Why that they don't get that brokerage fee.
I just ship I ship UPS if it comes in on net parcel cheaper than
Yeah.
Canada Post.
Just go lowest common, or the lowest price, really, right? For us.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, experience-wise for shipping out, it's just I find Canada Post, unless you have that business account where you get that kind of tiered percentage off. I'm not sure if you guys use that.
You still have to have a lot with Canada Post. I
All
found I
right.
was not. The prices on Net Parcel are way better than if I go straight into my Canada Post account.
Yeah. So that makes sense.
I've when you talk about the Canada Post account, I've always wanted to do like in Edmonton area here. There's about 20, 25 Bricklink stores. And to me, I've always wanted to just get together and say, let's just use one number.
Because volume speaks discount, right?
Co-op it together.
Yeah. And then because you don't link your, like, I don't know how it would be to link your credit card, but yeah, like
that would
uses that one account, and before you know it, we're at the highest savings level. And
yeah, because you'd almost have to have somebody running that department, the shipping department, between all you guys to have that, right? Like one person, unless you share that account number across.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I give you the account number, and anytime you want to ship something, there you go, you use it.
Makes sense. Yeah, if you got a trusted group that does that, and you're not really getting scammed on any level. You just, the more volume you get, the more discount you get, right?
Yeah. No, I would just be curious to see if when like I have my credit card saved to that account, to be like, if you pull it up and all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's Marshall's card number.
I don't think you can just not save a credit card. Yeah.
If you want to do something like that, you'll need to create a limited partnership or a corporation, and it'll have to be under that number. Canada Post or any of the other SPCs won't allow just a bunch of individuals to pool. It can be done. You just need the agreement of the people that you're going in with, and create yourself a business between you. Get one number, and then you have more buying power. You have more shipping power. Your shipping numbers will reach the higher tiered discounts, and you'll be able to negotiate an agreement with whichever SPC you want to do. Something similar to what we've done.
Chris, Beamsville Bricks. What's your shipping experiences? Any different than anyone else's? Any tricks, tips?
A few little things. Like, I always use Canada Post. By far, for me, they're always the cheapest. I find Net Parcel doesn't even give me all the Canada Post options, so I don't use Net Parcel at all. I tried for a little bit, but they seem to exclude some Canada Post options that I use. Most common. I buy the flat rate shipping boxes now by the dozen. I think they come in. I have the business account, so like I'm up a level on there. I always check UPS once in a while for the US stuff. I find it the best. It's like a couple bucks savings, so I usually just avoid it. Canada Post takes everything from my front door. I give everything to their carrier, so I almost never go to the post office. So I find Canada Post is pretty reliable. I've had so few problems in the last 7 years. I think in 7 years I've lost one letter mail, one parcel, one international packet, and that's it. So I've been pretty fortunate.
Okay. Question I have personally is packaging. Where are you sourcing, and how much is too much? I mean, because you guys, there's a cost to everything you're going to do. And I mean, the worst thing you can have is someone say, oh, you didn't package it right, it got broken. And of course, we all know the story. Oh, if you send something by letter mail and then they cry because it got ripped open or whatever, it's like, well, what do you want? It was sent in a letter and you agree to it, So, what are your views on the packaging? What's your particular standard? Because I guess this is an opportunity to promote how you do business. Oh, and actually, before you say anything, anyone who's on Facebook, if you can, and if you're watching through Facebook Live, if you have an option to give permission for your name to show up, do that. Because I don't see your name. It just says Facebook user, so I can't include you in the draw when it just says Facebook user. Or you can jump to YouTube, address yourself, say who you are on Facebook, and I can enter you in the draw, which we will do shortly. Okay, sorry about that. Marshal, packaging, thoughts. How do you conduct business?
From day one, packaging, just use the bubble mailers. I've ordered a lot, and from stores that have, at least a lot of orders, some decent feedback, and they'll just ship me something in a regular envelope. And then when I get it, it's poking out the sides, and I don't understand how these guys do this without having something to learn. So it's very frustrating. But other than that,
my worst personal experience like that was something that was $120. They shipped it in a gray pack, mailer pack, so it's not even bubble wrapped or anything. Yep. And there's a gaping hole in it that looks like, rats were eating at it. And it was bleeding out parts. And then Canada Post had put it in their clear packaging that says, sorry for such and such inconvenience. Like, thank you, everyone involved, for being useless.
Yeah. And as for supplies, picking them up, Costco and Uline seem to be the cheapest options for me. Other than that, I work for Finning, so I get a lot of big boxes. So when I have to ship out my big parcels and stuff like that. So,
okay.
I used to ship in Lego boxes. You just kind of like fold them over, but it's getting pretty. I don't say boxes anymore because I don't have the room for those. And that's the thing, is you're shipping, like, everyone's different with how much space they have. So yeah, I just used to save all my old Lego boxes to use that, but not anymore.
Okay. James, you're back. Your audio, how's it going? Echo's good? No echo? Oh, we don't hear you now, dude. You hear us? Because we don't hear you. Yeah. Can I see? And he's not muted from what I can see. So that's a technical difficulty there. We can't hear you at all. It might not be plugged all the way in. It might actually be plugged in too far, depending on how many bars are on your headphone.
Can't hear him at all, no.
Yeah. Because we had you before. That's funny.
What the hell?
Hey, Brick Lettuce. Shazam. Yeah, so on Facebook we couldn't see you. What's your weather conditions? Are you able to come on? If so, and now I can't see where to put it. I can hop on for a bit, yeah? Awesome.
Still can't hear you, James.
Brick Lettuce, there's a link you could click on and you can come on up. And James is going to try that again. Gotta love technology.
Yep. It's great when it works.
Awesome. How about we take this moment and Brad, what can you tell us about this?
Well, I guess this will be our official launch of our BTLG Bricks for McMaster Lego drive. This is an annual drive that we put on. I've been doing it for a lot longer than I've been able to integrate the business into this. This is the 7th year with our business. What it is we collect Lego sets and or poly bags or CMFs or anything that is sealed Lego, books, doesn't matter what it is. And we collect all that and we run it down for the Kids McMaster for Christmas. During December, I don't take any, well, our business doesn't have any, I don't take any personal profits. That's what I'm trying to say. Any money that we do make in December and January, we also write a check. So if somebody doesn't have a Lego set they want to contribute to this, they can easily just send some money. They can go to our store, they can buy something and send me a little message or a note saying, hey, this is for the kids at McMaster, and it immediately goes into that pile. These kids, for a lot of them, unfortunately, this may be their last opportunity for a happy occasion and a smile on their face. It's something that's very near and dear to our heart. We have some personal reasons for wanting to do this for McMaster as well. So this is something we believe in strongly. We're launching again right now, doing it here live. So if anyone, if you can, it doesn't matter the amount. Some people think that they have to give this giant amount. You don't. A poly bag, skip the Tim's one day, skip your Starbucks one day, and grab a small little set or something small and send it on over. Instead of doing that, put a smile on a child's face. So that is our BTLG Bricks for McMaster Lego Drive.
Awesome. And let's take that off.
You can always tell when I'm giving speeches at the end, I run out of things to say, and it's like, oh, okay, how do I get out of here now?
Yeah, if I was a better host, I'd be transitioning better. David, welcome to the stream. First time with us.
Hi. Excuse me. Hello.
I'm going to make you full screen. Hang on, buddy.
Whoa.
There
Boy,
we
that
go.
beard's getting better and better.
I shaved it off completely, and then it grew back. Am I supposed to say something? Hi.
Just tell us a little bit about what started you up as a store. Everyone else had an opportunity earlier to introduce themselves. I wanted to give you a chance. Whoops. What happened?
So I started on Bricklink as a store, I think in 2008. I was getting back into collecting as an AFOL. And I bought some set on eBay and didn't want one of the minifigures. That is not my alarm. I didn't want the
Reminds me here in Toronto.
I didn't want the light up Darth Vader minifigure. So I put that on Bricklink and sold that, and then just started selling extra stuff. And it was a few years later I had bought a Star Destroyer set. And didn't build it for a few years, and it was sitting in my closet. And I took it out of the closet. It's like, what do I really want from this? And I wanted like 2 minifigs and 2 or 3 other parts. And I realized it was going to cost me $20 to buy those parts on Bricklink. But the set was currently shipping or selling for double what I paid for it. So I'm like, no way. I no way am I opening this. And I sold it on Bricklink for the double the price. And then at the same time, I had a couple of town halls and fire brigades and sets like that just sitting in the closet. So I listed all those and made a buttload of money. And then over the years, I've been rethinking my Bricklink store. Right now, you might know it says Lettuce Bricks free shipping. I'm for the most part just selling minifigs and some more expensive individual elements. And I'm that crazy guy with a minimum purchase of $100. And I ship everything in boxes. Everything goes in these size boxes, unless it's a bigger item. Everything gets bubble wrap. I ran out of recycled stuff. Like I'm sure a lot of everyone uses recycled bubble wrap and bubble mailers and boxes, and I ran out. So I started purchasing. I get bubble wrap lately. I'm getting it from Amazon. I hate Amazon, but I'm getting it there because it's cheapest, easiest to get. The boxes I get from a company called Eddie's Stand Up Display. I do like an in-person vendor table at Brick Can, and I have before at Brixpo out in Moose Jaw. So I get supplies for the actual vendor table there as well, display cases, that sort of stuff. And they do the boxes. With every order, it ends up being about 99 cents to $1 in supplies. Which when the minimum price is $100, then that works out okay for me. That's the Bricklink story. I've currently got about $26,000 of items listed in Bricklink, which isn't a ton of items. Let me just look at my inventory, or just look at my store. Visit store. I think it's only like 1,000 items. So I'm a pretty small store in comparison. It is probably largely a hobby. Yeah, I've got 1,100 items. You may also have known me if you saw the Jurassic World episode of Lego Masters on Fox in June. I'm on the Canadians team, and then the main show is starting in a couple of weeks now, September 21st, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Cheer for me. There's 2 other Canadian teams I'm sure many of you guys know. I know a lot of you guys because I've bought from you. Is the way that I know people on Bricklink. It's like, oh, I bought from that guy. Oh, I bought from that guy.
Yeah, I was dropping your name, and everyone was looking at me like, Rick, we know who he is.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to
I was so
ask.
pickled because it's like, yeah, I got another Lego Master on one of my streams. Like, yeah, I'm collecting them now like baseball cards.
Oh, yeah. Who else did you have?
I've had Boone. I've had
I love
Iceberg.
Boone.
I've had Kanemoto. Actually, he really got me out of a spot on my 24-hour stream. He spent over 2 hours at 2 different points, and then he actually gave a private session to my final panelists. Yeah, so 24 hours became 25 with
Wow.
Moto. Yeah, Moto's awesome.
I don't know Moto in real life. I don't think I've ever talked to him either. But everything I hear is good things about him. Or like Boone. Boone and I are really close friends. I joke sometimes I'm a Canadian Boone. They tried to even. It was an option at one point during casting to put me in plaid, and they thought it'd be too much like Boone. So
really? They crapped on the idea.
Yeah. Well, I crap on every one of their ideas because, like, in casting for the show, they give you all these ideas. Like, they were really going hard to put me in a Canadian tuxedo, and I really do not want to build Lego wearing all denim all day. Hockey jersey wasn't much better, but it breathed a little better than a jean jacket.
Right. Okay, let's give.
Can I see everyone else? This is
well,
spooky.
yeah. If we do this.
Hey, is everybody?
And we pull your branding off. Shane's joining us. Are you there, Shane?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that. I got distracted building Lego of all things and lost track of time.
Shame. For shame.
Yeah.
Well, hang on a second, buddy.
I don't have a camera. I just have audio.
That's okay. We've got people with faces for radio, and we let them have a camera, so it's okay. So tell us a little bit about your store, what brought you to Bricklink, and how you're currently doing with the biz.
What brought me to Bricklink would be the first thing about 6, maybe 7 years ago. So I obviously collected Lego as a child back in the early 90s. I was into pirate stuff. And then I was having kids. My kids were getting a little bit older. So I got a hold of my mother back in Nova Scotia. And I was like, hey, send me my Lego. So she did. And this was in like the summer of 2015. And then I rebuilt everything for the most part. But of course, like most people, when they get their childhood Lego, there were some pieces missing. So I was like, how do I remedy this? So I went online and I found Bricklink, and it was not a good first little while. I didn't really know how to use it. I spent way too much money, but I got all my sets rebuilt. And then that was like, okay, this is great. I don't have a Skull's Eye schooner, which is what I always wanted as a kid. So then I launched into this, what's the word I'm looking for? It was like my life goal was to get a Skull's Eye schooner. So, right, I scoured Kijiji and everywhere. And I just started buying up bulk buys, for the kids.
Okay.
And
For
then
the
I
kids.
would, for the kids, of course, right? And then I would sort it all out and part all the sets back together, and then use Bricklink to complete the sets. And didn't go very well at first. My first buy was definitely cost me more than it should have. It cost more than it was worth as far as strictly money in, money out kind of approach. But it did provide me with a good foundation of bulk Lego actually for the kids. And then that's kind of what started me. I shortly thereafter opened a Bricklink store to, because I had to make it, I had to sell my wife on the idea of me buying this Lego, right? It's like, well, see, I can buy bulk Lego, and then I can part out sets and then sell them and you know, make the money back. So for a couple of years, I operated under the family's money. Like every time I wanted to buy a lot, I had to discuss it with my wife until I finally, after a couple of years, had enough money that I had actually earned that I was able to then go out and buy lots without permission. And then that's what I do. My Bricklink store is sets. I don't do parts. I can't wrap my head around breaking apart the Lego family, right? I see a set as like, oh, this set belongs together, and I don't like the idea of breaking it apart. I've spent more money sometimes to complete a set than the set's even worth. I try not to do that, but that's what I do. So, all right, I'll buy up a lot, and then that's kind of my hobby. My store, I've got, I don't know, 800 sets or something in my store. It just always continues to grow. I've become a lot more discerning with the lots that I pick up. Like years ago, 3-4 years ago, I'd have been like, yeah, big tub of Lego, sure, no instructions, no problem. And then I'd go through that and I'd pull out all the sets, and it was not, I mean, it was fun-ish. It's not something I wanted to always do though. So now I'm more like, oh, you don't have instructions? I'm not interested. Right? Maybe one day I'll get to the point where I'll be like, what? You don't have boxes? Like, what? The seals are broken? But for now, I like, I like to sell sets, because while it's funny, because I rely on Bricklink for parts, I can't wrap my head around selling parts. So I'm glad there are plenty of people out there that do it. But I'm in it for, right, because I get to build a lot. I get to build so much that I have no interest in, like Star Wars. I know, blasphemy. Everybody loves Star Wars. I have no interest in Star Wars sets, but I have built more Star Wars sets probably than most Star Wars Lego collectors out there. I've built just about every UCS set I've built, right? So
I could probably challenge you on that one.
yeah, so I said most. I said
yeah.
most anybody. Yeah. No, you.
Actually, Rocky out there in BC, I think he trumps all when it comes to the Star Wars sets.
Rocky's in Edmonton, and no, I doubt it. I've probably built more Star Wars than him. He's more into the figures.
Yeah, but he builds the sets to get access to the figures, right?
I mean, I'm probably pretty close to him. I don't know. It's been a while. I mean, I've been in his place plenty of times. It's been a while since I've been there, but
it's definitely changed a lot.
Yeah.
So, which of you guys is Wake Me Up?
She already hiding.
Any of you guys Wake Me Up now?
You already hiding.
No?
No.
Okay, and I'm going to bring Shane off the big screen, and we'll take the branding off. I don't know if this is going to work, Ken. The studio is limited to 10 people on screen. Please remove someone. Okay, Ken, let's try this. I'm going to let Brad steer the ship for a minute while I prep the spinning wheel, and let's see if I could remove myself and bring Ken up.
I'm sorry, you're going to let me what?
You got to rinse
No. Well, this is news to me. How about? Oh, I don't know. You dance? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Brad, show him that piece for $550 that you were showing us.
What is your perspective? Yeah. What's your perspective on new customers versus customers that you've had for a while?
I get tired of new customers like not knowing what they're doing. So they order and you sit there for 3 days because the person has absolutely no clue how to go and pay for an invoice. So I fixed that. I did automatic checkout. All my letter mail, you can't even order without paying for it.
Yeah,
Works
that's what I do.
slick. It is. And I found somebody that had shared a shipping, like a shared shipping, whatever you call it, method. And all I did basically was just tweaked it and changed a few things, and it adds in my fee for my extras and all that. And yeah. So there is something nice about, like I had a new guy email me last night and he's like, hey, do you have a local pickup option? I'm in downtown Toronto. I'm like, I am 3 hours east of you. And he goes, he didn't even respond. I'm like, well, do you still want to pick it up? But he didn't specify what he wanted. So new guys are.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I do the automatic checkout for new buyers, and I never have a problem. I just don't take anybody with no feedback. Has to do the automatic checkout. I welcome them. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, but everybody does automatic checkout for me.
Does anyone actively try and recruit new buyers? Does anyone try to?
I have.
What do you do? What do you do to maintain your current customer base as well as attract new buyers?
I just try and give them good service and give old buyer, like continual buyers, just keep my service level up. And I have like I said, I'm busier than I can handle. Most of the times I have to close. Like my store technically right now, I'm closed till the 15th of September because I need a bit of a holiday. I got some other things in life I got to take care of.
And everyone
you know, and it's just like I did like more than enough. Like my orders tend to come. Sometimes I'll have 16 orders in a day, and it's a lot for me. I get a little bit of help from the rest of the family, but this is my retirement thing. So,
are you doing parts as well, Marilyn?
I'm doing mostly parts. I do sell some sets, but it's mostly parts. I have things set up where I'm quite efficient. I can't get any bigger than I am now. I don't have the room. I have another 100,000 plus parts sitting in my basement and my bedroom that I have no room. I have them inventory, but I have no room to put them in my store.
Yeah, the most parts I've
got
is
Chris?
A couple hundred lightsabers. That's it.
Yeah. No, I have like,
right.
I think I have about
180
some thousand in my store right now. But
yeah, we haven't heard from Chris for a bit. What about you, Chris? What do you do?
For customers, selling on Bricklink and Brickowl, I find people find me very easily. I definitely go through significant spurts of where it's difficult to keep up. So I don't really actively go out and try to advertise, I'll say. I do have that many returning customers that I've developed a relationship with, which is great. New customers, I just try to give them obviously like ship as quick as I can. Make sure if I can tell like maybe they're having an issue, like they haven't paid in a day, which is uncommon. I'll send them a message saying, hey, like let me know if you need any help. Because we all started somewhere, and Bricklink's not really the most user friendly.
No.
Yeah, other than that, I roll with the punches. Like, if I got to cancel an order, like people, maybe they don't like the shipping, people give me lots of excuses. I don't really care. I just cancel. I don't pick orders unless they're paid for. And, sometimes I can tell the person has come back like a couple months later. So really, I feel like for me, it just boils down to customer service.
Yeah. Yeah. If somebody wants to cancel and stuff, like I'm like you, I don't pick it until it's paid for. I just cancel it. I don't get my knickers in a knot for somebody changing their mind or whatever.
Absolutely.
I will, depending on the circumstance.
I know, and I see a lot of people doing that.
Yeah. I don't.
We're all in agreement, I think.
Yeah, I'll block some people so they can't order from me again, but I have yet to post a non-paying buyer.
I've done a couple. I do plenty of non-paying.
If somebody doesn't want it, they don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't let people cancel. I have it in my store terms, right? I mean, I do all sets though. I'm in a completely different boat. So to do up the shipping and whatnot, for the most part, nowadays I don't have to actually pull anything out, especially for US customers. I know exactly how much it's going to cost. But I lay it all out in my terms. I don't actually have to do that many non-paying buyers, but the reason I go through it is just simply so that they can't leave any feedback on me if they want to cancel the order. Because if you just straight up cancel it, If you straight up cancel it, they can put whatever you want. And then I got to go through and deal with maybe getting feedback removed. Now, if I do a non-paying buyer, most non-paying buyers just never come back, and it takes the full 2 weeks or whatever. But if I do a non-paying buyer and somebody's like, "Yep, I accept that," I actually don't leave negative feedback on them. I'm like, "Okay, right? Like you've accepted whatever." They get the background strike against their account, and I'm like, that does a whole lot of damage.
Don't stress or concern yourself with negative feedback too much. Majority of buyers, if they see a negative or a couple negatives or a few negatives, it's not a deterrence to buy. It really isn't.
I don't.
You're going
I've
to
never had
run
anybody
into
that I
some
can't.
people who may do that.
I've
never
never
had
strived
anybody
for
that I
100%.
Yeah.
I just did a non-paying buyer on a guy, and my non-paying buyer, when it went through, it revoked his privileges.
Also, it was his third one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've actually done non-paying buyers on people, and then they've come back to my store and purchased, and I'm like, yeah, come on back, right? Right? Things happen,
Wow.
you know, and it's gone through. They've paid, and we've left feedback on each other. Then, like, I don't. I've had people with negative feedback shop at my store. I'm like, hey, as long as you got a valid account, I'll let you try to shop here. But
I had a lady. She put in an order. And I invoiced her. I waited 2 days. I invoiced her again. I waited another 3 days. I emailed her. Nothing. I emailed her again. Finally, I just canceled the order and I blocked her. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not going to chase you. And I said, if you don't want to pay, that's fine. You just won't shop at my store. She goes and makes a second account and reorders it. And I noticed it's the same name, same address. And I emailed her and I said, if I invoice you and you don't pay, I will report you to Bricklink for spoofed accounts. And she paid within like 24 hours. So they can get kind of sneaky sometimes. But I know that I myself have bought stuff from Marshal, and I think I bought stuff from Chris.
Yeah, Kenny bought a couple things from me.
Yeah. But the guy that I buy the most stuff from, and I don't know why, it just turns out he has what I need when I need it, is Sylvain out of Canada First Bricks. So nice. I think I'm up to about 75 orders with him over the last 4 years.
Wow.
It's a big store.
He does have a big store, but he's bought a lot of stuff and absorbed a lot of other stores that have packed it in.
Ken, what are you buying from him? Are you buying parts for yourself or things to complete the resale?
To complete sets or complete figures or stuff like that. So I think I probably have at any one time, like right now, I'm working on, let's see if I can get this up here without breaking it. I'm working on an ARC 170, but I gotta do like the parts and the wings and stuff like that. But I won't just order those parts. I'll wait until I have probably about, I don't know, $20 worth of just parts. So one big envelope for about $4 or $5 worth of shipping kind of thing, right? So I won't
is that for your personal collection?
No.
Okay.
That's a resale. That came out of a bulk lot. So
I do the same thing for purchases, Ken. I usually wait until I have like 100 items on my wanted list because I'm like, I want to make the shipping worthwhile. I don't like my shipping to be more than a third of the cost of my my orders. So if I need $20 worth of stuff, I'm like, okay, I'm willing to spend $5 or $6 on shipping. That's what I try to do anyway.
So I got a question for everyone. Drop shipping, good, bad, evil?
Hate it.
Indifferent.
Absolutely hate it.
Every time I bring it up, I hear more and more responses. It's
I only ship to the PayPal Bricklink address.
I like that.
And name on the account. I just had a fellow who does have a Bricklink store try to get me to send some to under his name, but to an address in a completely different province. I told him no.
The only time I've done that, I've actually utilized Belleville Toy Show. So Mike DeRushi out of Belleville, he had something. I thought I had it. I couldn't find it. And I said, will you send directly to this guy for me, please? And I'll pay you out of my pocket. And then the other one was what's her name? Brick Chick in Nanaimo. She had something that I needed and I couldn't find it in my inventory. So I just sent her a message and I said, hey, will you send this directly to this guy and I'll send you the money? And that was only because I made a mistake in my inventory. I wanted to minimize the amount of time for the customer, right? So, and it cost me a little bit more than what the customer paid me, but my screw up, I ate the cost. So, but I won't go and list stuff on my store and have somebody else send it from theirs. No.
This guy tried to order 110 lots of different things for me to send to a different address. He has a store.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to send, he's in Alberta. He wanted me to send it to Ontario under his name.
Right.
And I just said, I can't do that because it's not your Bricklink address. And then he said, okay, that's fine. And ordered it anyway, sent to his regular address.
Right.
So
If they want to pay
Marilyn,
through a
that's-
method that doesn't require
interesting.
track shipping, I'm perfectly happy to send it wherever they want. Right, do you want to pay me with
It's
EMT?
interesting.
Yeah.
You can make your shipping address whatever you want when you check out. Like the people that contact us as sellers to ship to a different address than on the file, they just have to change that address when they check out, and that's the PayPal address too. It changes that
yeah,
too.
but in this case, it wasn't his PayPal address. As long as as long as it's what's on PayPal and Bricklink,
Yeah.
then I'm covered. I'm not just going to send it to a totally different address and then be out.
For
Like
sure.
I said, this order was about almost $50 worth of just parts. So I was.
I definitely have the stance. If people pay the bill, I'll ship it to wherever it says to ship it to, and
Yeah, that's what I
they
do.
paid for it, and yeah. So.
I've been doing a
you're
lot.
finding me a customer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Horror stories. Who's got the best horror story? Buying
I got
or
a
selling
$300
from
horror story.
Bricklink.
knock on wood, I haven't got any terrible ones yet. So
No, I'm too new to have any horror stories yet.
Sending boxed sets to Italy.
For me, it was Portugal.
Oh, I want to hear
see, I
this
don't
story.
ship.
Oh, here's a horror
man.
story for you.
So,
Oh, I got to hear the Italy story.
okay,
Because
so
my most recent problem was with Italy as well, so I'm curious to hear.
I sent
Sorry.
a limited edition 4x4 Technic crawler, complete with box. It was used, but it was complete with box. So after it shows up, I get a picture from the guy, and customs, it looked like, I don't know, they had rats chew the box open or something. I don't know what they did. Like the box wasn't taped closed. Literally all they had to do was lift the top off the box. But instead they decided to carve the box up to get into it. And right, so that was, I mean, in the end, it was like, you know, there was no insurance on that. They're like, no, it wasn't lost. You know, they wouldn't cover it, and you know, both of us were unhappy. That was first. The second time, not long after that, I sent another box set to Italy, and it was Classic Castle. What was it? It was one of the Dark Forest sets, 6024 maybe. Super expensive box, whatever it was. Same thing, sent it to Italy, and they again used set. All they had to do was like dump the box out, and they just destroyed the box for no reason. So I actually put a little note in my store terms, and I'm like, look, if you're buying a box set from Italy, good luck, is pretty much what it says. Because I'm like, I can't control your customs people. I'm like, they're insane. I'm like, they do it maliciously, it seems, just for kicks. And I still
Italy,
have,
Spain, Germany right now, all tough. Very tough. Yep.
but I still have and it's funny because like it's like every box set that I sell, all these old like 30-year-old sets, it's Italy where people want to buy them. I'm like, have you looked at my store terms? Like, you know that your customs agents are really bad, right? But that was the first 2 times, and I actually haven't had a problem since then. I've got a repeat customer that's bought from me 3 or 4 times from Italy, and it's, you know, every time when I talk with them, I'm like, just right, remember your customs people, they're not nice people. They don't respect Lego boxes. But yeah, that was just hard. The worst one was the Hemlock Stronghold is what it was. Right? Set from 1996, and the box was like mint condition. Oh yeah, it was. You just look at the pictures, and it just made me want to puke.
Oh, I almost regret bringing that up. Ken, you've always Ken's always got great horror stories. I don't know why.
I had a figure. I believe it was the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con Vixen figure, mint in the plastic bubble, never been opened. Ordered to somewhere in Eastern Europe, I think, if I remember correctly. I don't remember exactly where. And what had happened was, guy paid for tracked shipping and insurance, and I think shipping on it was like $80, and he really wanted this figure. It was $200. He paid me like close to $3 with everything and VAT and all that. So I send it off, and he doesn't get it. So I start checking the tracking. It ended up going to an address in, that's what it was. It was supposed to go to Spain, I think. Spain or Portugal. It ended up in Canada Post sent it to Glasgow, Scotland. And they lost it. They don't know where it went. They don't know what address it went to once it hit the distribution center in Scotland, but it made it to Scotland and didn't go anywhere else. So then it took about 60 days for me to go through the whole process of filing an insurance claim, getting the money back, and then having to refund the guy. And it was a nightmare, absolute nightmare. And that was the last time I sold anything to Europe. I stopped selling to Europe after that.
Wow.
I had a similar issue where I stopped selling to Europe as well. I had one of the Vancouver grand opening minifig pack. This was from the Surrey store, but they're all individually numbered. And I sold it to a guy in Portugal, and it took forever for it to get there. And then it finally got there, and it was completely just destroyed. The box was like flattened. It had all kinds of padding in it, but like it was like they dropped an elephant on this thing, and like minifig legs busted off the hips. And I started doing the insurance claim on it, and a lot of back and forth. And then I had to go and actually film Lego Masters, and so I couldn't continue the insurance claim, and I was just out $300+ for that one. So I stopped shipping to Europe.
Yeah. I don't ship to Europe, but I learned that I have a Lego friend in England, and she had sent my husband the Emerald Knight Express that she got in a bulk buy, and I just as a Christmas present. So I was thanking her, so I sent her a bunch of blurps and large pieces in a shoebox full of parts that she needed she does the Harry Potter big time castle stuff. And so I sent her this huge box of stuff. Took 8 months. I don't know where it's at. She thought it was there. The tracking said it had been delivered. She couldn't find it. She thought maybe somebody took it off her steps or something. And 8 months later, she said she sent me a message. Guess what showed up today? Box of stuff, perfectly fine, all wrapped. Just, it was a good thing it wasn't like a customer. Like it was just between, and just by shipping things back and forth on a personal level that way, when I opened my store, I said, I'm not going to bother with that for the store. I don't need those kind of headaches.
Yep.
Although shipping from Europe here is way better. The odd time I've found some parts that I sell a lot of that I just can't keep in stock, I'll buy from a Bricklink seller in Europe, and some of them will have like $9 shipping.
Yep.
And I can get, it's usually with me, it's the dark bluish gray tiles, the 2x2 tiles and stuff like that. I sell a lot of stuff I think people use for doing modulars and roads and stuff, and I'll buy hundreds of them from those guys and get them for anywhere from $6 to $9 for shipping. So I can't, and at half the price as what I could buy them here for, to make it worthwhile, you know, when you just have to keep the stock in your store so people keep buying. But that's all. But I bought stuff from Chris before a long time ago for my modulars and stuff, and a few other. I do buy from other Bricklink stores, but for my personal use, not for stock in my store.
Okay.
I haven't had a.
My producer.
I feel like I bought from almost everyone here.
Sorry?
I feel like I bought from Chris recently.
From me?
I think I know all of you guys. I bought from you recently. I bought some Mario figs from you.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure I bought from Brad. I'm sure I bought from Marshall. James, I think I bought from you. Shane, I think I bought from you.
You bought
Ken,
from
I
me
know
before?
you.
What did you buy?
Can't think of what. I gotta look back. I recognize you and I recognize the name of your store, so maybe I just looked in your store and didn't buy anything, but I think I did.
Oh, what's your name?
David Geddes, Brick Lettuce on, or just lettuce now on.
I can't remember.
What do you call it on Bricklink? Maybe I didn't end up purchasing, but I recognize your store.
Oh yeah, Dave, I got your order here. Yeah, you ordered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Interestingly, I said my name is Brick Lettuce because that used to be my name on Bricklink, but I wanted to just rebrand as just Lettuce. And I happened to, like at that point, I know a lot of the Bricklink personnel, like at that point Marvin or Jacqueline when she still worked there and all of them. Russell. And so I was talking to them. It's like, there's this account, Lettuce, that has been inactive for 12 years. How about you just delete that one and give me that username? And they didn't even respond yes. They just did it. And all of a sudden I got this old inactive username. Thank you, friends.
Okay, guys. My producer is throwing some questions my way. Actually, this is a really good question. Have you noticed a difference in your sales specific to your store since Lego's, I guess it was August, beginning of August, where they did a big shift in the pricing in Canada and in the States? Have you noticed a big difference in sales?
Nope.
No.
I'm always in the summer. Always.
I've had 3 consecutive months of my highest Bricklink fees ever. So my sales have gone up significantly. However, I bought an enormous haul of Star Wars Lego from someone local in Edmonton this year and have been adding that to my store. So it could be both. It could be one or the other. But yeah, I have noticed the last 3 months, month over month, I'm like, hey, look, record number sales. And then the next month, I'm like, hey, look, record number sales.
Because I would think that anyone who's selling or specializing in box sets would be seeing maybe a spike in sales one way or the other, plus or minus, just given what's going on with Lego and their pricing.
I think only if you're selling current stuff. Like if you're piecing together retired sets, I don't think you're going to see any difference there.
I don't sell current stuff. I have current stuff and I sit it on the shelves until it goes, and retires, because I'm like, why do I want to sell this for less than what it's going for in stores? Why would someone want to buy it? Right? Go to the store and buy it. Get your Lego points. Right? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I very rarely stick stuff up for sale that is available, unless Lego's having a hard time keeping it in stock. Then I might throw it up on my store. But
I was in that antique store yesterday in Hamilton, and someone was clearly clearing out Walmart shelves, putting it in their antique booths in Hamilton, and adding about 30%. It's like, I can still buy it at Walmart. This is not even an antique. You guys are shameful. This is horrible. I'll come back in 5 years when there's some dust on the stuff.
I saw some Batman Series 2 minifigures in a Ace Hardware or something like that in a small town here in Alberta, and they wanted $10 a minifigure.
What? I got feeling that store owner is a collector or something.
Well,
that's
the general public has no clue. They think because it says Lego, it's got this huge value to it, and it's Well,
I know trying to buy any used or bulk lots around here is impossible because people just want them like they want crazy figures because they read all the stuff that's out on the internet thinking, oh, well, they got a box full of Lego that they paid $1,000 for, so you got to pay me like $800 for it, and it's just a box full of pieces, and it's like, no thanks.
Yeah. It's like when I'm on Kijiji and I'm looking at just in the descriptions, if they're like retired, I'm like, no. Oh, rare. No, I'm not even going to look at that because you're probably selling Chima. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, but they're like, oh, it's Lego and it's retired now, so it's worth a fortune. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to skip you over.
Does Chima sell at all?
No.
No.
I had a bunch of it. And I got lucky. I had someone in the States bought like, he cleared me out, bought like $1,400 worth of Chima off me.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, I need to save that name and I'll just send it to him when I get it. Like, I won't even charge him. If you want Chima, buddy, like, I'll just send it to you. Like,
Well, I found the parts like steadily over this summer. My order numbers have gone up significantly. I kind of, even more than when it was like COVID and stuff, I was thinking people were maybe piecing together their family sets versus buying new ones with the new price hike. Because that's,
Where are you located, Marilyn?
I'm outside Winnipeg.
Okay.
And we don't have a lot of Bricklink stores. I sell a lot. I have a lot of local pickup. There's a lot of people involved, and I've got quite a circle of local people that are picking up. But
you probably know my father-in-law.
No, maybe.
He's in Winnipeg.
My family's from Winnipeg, so
yeah. I'm north of the city. I'm north of the city, but not so far that people can't run out.
Yeah, I got my dad's brother. My dad's brother lives up towards, kind of close to the hospital, up by the airbase.
The other side of the city.
But my dad, they all grew up in St. Boniface, on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
But no, since COVID happened, I've seen local Bricklink sellers in my area triple in numbers. There was 4 of us that kind of were jockeying for whatever came up, and then all of a sudden there's like 13 people in Kingston that are doing Lego sales. So you're competing, and there's this one young kid. He just graduated high school a year or two ago, and he buys stuff and he undercuts everybody. So he'll go on Facebook or on Kijiji, and he'll buy stuff from Hamilton, Windsor, whatever, and he gets it shipped to himself. And then he parts it out for as little as possible so he can make like $75 over 5 sets. And he just basically kills the market because he bought this one Star Wars lot and everything was glued together. Death Star glued together. So he sells off all the figures, and then he tries to sell the glued together Death Star, and he's asking $400 for it. I'm like, you're giving us a bad name when you do stuff like this. I don't care. I made my money back, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I just can't even deal with you. I don't even want to see the garbage that you're posting. So I just kind of blocked him on Facebook. So, but there's 2 other people in town that are store
There's
owners.
always going to be people like that out there. I just kind of, and it's like that in any business, that there's always somebody trying to do the shortcut, take the thing. And I just buy stuff when I see it's a reasonable deal. I've made a few connections. I've learned in other ventures in my life that you can't keep everybody happy all the time. Keep your customers, the customers you have happy, because those are the ones that are going to come back and back and back and pay your bills.
There's someone here in town that they have an inroad, somebody that they're related to or are best friends with, that works at the sorting warehouse of the local Value Village. So when Lego comes in, that's going to go on the floor, it never makes it to the floor. Never.
Yeah. I don't even check our thrift shops or Value Village or anything.
Yeah.
There's never, Manitoba's the wholesale capital of the world. So you gotta let a lot of that stuff roll off and know you're never gonna find stuff. Like I peruse Facebook and Kijiji. I found a few things. Found one guy that had a friend that worked in one of the shipping warehouses, and he got a whole bunch of Lego sets he didn't want that were all new, that were returns or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I went over to his place and bought them all at like 30% that face value and put them in my parts. They were like the friend's apartment. I got it for $50.
Right.
and it's $200.
Who's asking me,
So
does anybody have a Heart Lake hotel?
I got pieces from one.
Who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody. They're looking for the Heart Lake Hotel for. Oh, it's
Friend sets never sell. I know.
Is that
I
the
know.
one with the
I know
slides?
she's
Yeah, I don't have
I
a
can't
friend
remember.
set in my sets.
Oh no, that's the resort. That's
her
the
daughter.
one I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I
No,
know
I
in
just,
Edmonton here, it's I don't know. Shane could probably agree to this. It's next to impossible to find bulk Lego anymore, unless you want to buy the big thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Which is what I go for.
Yeah, but
Because
here,
anything under $1,000, it's just I don't even know what happens to it anymore.
$29 for 2 pounds. I saw it all day yesterday in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're just
Every antique place I went to, and at least those bricks were vintage. $29 for 2 pounds.
I got a bin that was probably 120 liter Rubbermaid tote, full of Technics, just jammed full. And it took about 4 months, and I gave it to my daughter's fiance, and I just said, "There you go, you like puzzles." We ended up with 8 Technic sets out of it, and everything from like the motorized excavator, the 4x4 crawler, the helicopter that with the power functions, everything the Unimog, everything was in there. I paid $80 for it. I think I made about $1,600.
Wow. Does Technic sell?
It's slowly, but it sells.
Sells in Europe.
The only reason why I'm able to sell it mostly is I go to collector shows. So I'll probably be at the Mississauga Collectors Convention at the Mississauga Hilton on the 2nd of October. And that's the one that's the same group that ran that Star Wars con back in end of June. So
I find the Technic and a few other things are kind of like sort of hit and miss. And every time I think I'm going to take it out of my inventory and put it in my donate box, because I've donate a bunch of stuff to some schools with some special ed programs here, anything I don't want. And every time I'm about to think, oh, this has been sitting in inventory way too long, I'm going to take it out. Somebody comes and buys it. It almost happens every time. Yeah.
Brad, you're back. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll go through bulk, and those rare lots that you actually get now because they're so.
I'm back.
I'll go through and pick out the minifigs, expensive parts, things that I want, and the rest of it just goes into bins in my garage. And I've probably got about 300 gallons of bulk Lego in my garage right now.
Yeah.
And when we get back to having in-person, like that would do well to stock a store if I was selling parts. But when we get back to doing in-person shows, the next Brick Can will be in April or May, I think. I don't know, April or May. I'll go there and sell it. People can pick through and fill the sandwich bag at $10 a bag, and I'll sell all of it at that. And then I'll come home and have space in my garage.
Yeah, I did the Bricks in the Six in Toronto in 19, and I set up this Build-A-Fig station. And the revenue that little station generated, I made enough money to pay for my tables for the whole weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I wish we had more events. Or I wish we had the population to have more events like that. See, I don't have any of that kind of thing available.
If you can make it a Moose Jaw, like it's a bit of a drive.
Well, I know how. Yeah, I go to Moose Jaw to show my horses all the time.
Yeah, like I didn't.
If we could arrange a horse show and the Lego show on the same weekend, I could do really good.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that's a great show, and they get in a good year at Brickspo, they get 4,000 or 5,000 people through.
Yeah.
And I bring less inventory to that show, so I don't sell as well, but I make a lot of money at that show.
I know things like that. Moose Jaw can do that, but Winnipeg can't, or doesn't. It's weird.
That's a good group that's been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. And I've tried to sort of get involved with the Lug group and the people here, and it's like you contact them. I had one guy come and buy a set from me, and he's telling me all about it, and I said, "Oh, great!" And he says, "I'll keep you informed." And I made sure I went online and kind of joined, and they don't do anything.
How many of you guys are in lugs, folks? No,
I'm not.
I think I am, but I don't know.
I don't know. I submitted my application 7 months ago, but they still haven't gotten back to me.
I had been
Well,
invited
it's a
to
grudge
more
part.
than a few
That's
lugs,
part of
and I
that would
managed to
happen with
burn
the
every
member.
bridge along the way. So I'm part of no lugs.
I'm in a lug, and since COVID happened, it's been very hard because everything is online, everything is meetings like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was so much easier when we just rent the community hall every 2 months or so and get in there person talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now trying to organize a show via emails and stuff like that. I think I'm
Well, the
unfortunately.
only thing we do here is have a display with the Model Train Club, which is really active. That I only find out about the Lego stuff because my husband's into model trains.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's just odd for me. I just can't. And I've been trying to get kind of involved for over 10 years. Like we've always had Lego, but I got sick 10 years ago, and the only thing I could do was sit in bed and sort Lego. So that's kind of where it all started, and I enjoy it. And I still do it now. So
I've got another question from our producer. Some of you have more than just Bricklink. You've got your .cas or your .coms working for you. Some of you have Brick Owl. Where do you see Bricklink in 5 years from now? Do you see yourself still on Bricklink? Do you still see Bricklink being viable? Do you see it tanking? Do you see competition driving you out? What's the future of Bricklink and you?
I think as long as the what do you call it, the percentage they take doesn't go up. Like eBay, I think it's like 10 or more % per sale, plus fees.
Yeah.
So I think
as long as it doesn't
3%.
cost more to go up.
Yeah, I think Bricklink's 3%, right?
Yeah.
So that's very reasonable. eBay, I used to sell quite a bit on there, but
it depends on how much you sell, though. Like
if you sell more, it actually goes down. It's 3% for the first. Yeah,
I sell about 2/3 on Bricklink and 1/3 on Brick Owl. That's about how it breaks up. And I sell nowhere else unless I throw something up on Kijiji or Facebook. I want to just sell.
I won't sell on Facebook because automatically the people in this town think that if it's on Facebook, it should be 15% less than what market value is on it. And I won't negotiate like that.
No, I don't. I put in all my Facebook ads, prices firm, and if somebody tries to, I make my ads kind of sound a little bit nasty on Facebook and Kijiji, and that weeds out probably 90% of the people trying to get it. Like, this is my price. Don't bother me if you're not.
But I'm not a Bricklink store like you guys, and that's my experience. Facebook and even Kijiji, people expect there to be a break compared to those services, and it's like it's the same product.
Well, last year I had quite a collection. I have my personal interest is modulars, so I had a whole bunch and a bunch of retirement, like multiple, like town halls and a greengrocer and a few other ones. I just decided, well, now's the time I'm going to sell these boxed ones. I'll keep the other ones. And I put them on Kijiji and Facebook first because I didn't want to bother shipping them. And I had one guy come buy them all. I sold him $6,000 worth of modulars. Paid cash.
Nice.
And I still see him. And I had them priced at like Bricklink type, like going market rate prices. And he's still trying to sell them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just brought up something I wanted to touch on.
Because I wasn't selling them as a big deal. And I didn't. I gave him a little bit of a break, but not much of a break. Because I knew if I priced them at where I price things on Bricklink, I would sell them, but I'd have to have the hassle of packaging up the big boxes, and I just didn't feel like doing it.
I hear you.
So.
What do you guys think of the 6-month average, and do you base your prices on it? And do you like when people use that against you sometimes? Like, because I've seen that go both ways.
I price most of my stuff at the 6 months average price because what I'm selling, I don't have a lot of really rare things, or like I said, I have minifigures, but I'm not really into minifigures. So I just price the 6 months average, and it sells. If it doesn't sell, well, it doesn't sell for a while, but it ends up going. Like I keep
Tra-
track of my stock so it doesn't sit too long. So I know if
Tra-
something's sitting a long time, it's either something somebody doesn't want or my price is wrong.
Tracy, how about you? Haven't heard from you.
Yeah, we're using 6-month average right now. I sometimes will
Do you
play.
agree with it, or do you like begrudgingly go, "Oh, these are horrible numbers"?
It's serving, as I say, like because we're new. I don't really have a lot to gauge on, and I'm at a pace right now that's comfortable. So if suddenly we got stupid busy, having to pick a lot of orders, I might consider putting our prices up a little bit just to slow things down. But right now it's at a pace that I like, and I'm careful to try to, we're because we're doing new parts right now, I'm careful to do at least 2.5 times the part out value for things. We're trying to get closer to 3, but where we are, there's a lot of competition to get new sets on sale. And as we're doing this really slow to start. So right now I'm okay with the 6-month average, just because it's the easiest thing for us to do. I play a little bit with some of the Star Wars minifigs only because I'm told to by the younger generation in the family. It's like, no, you can't sell that for that cheap, Mom. That's worth way more than that. And he's usually right. But he's been a Lego fan for a lot longer than I have. So he's usually the one I can bounce the ideas off of. But yeah, 6 months is serving us good.
Are you guys talking 6-month sales average or 6-month? Yeah, it'd be 6-month sales average, not the current list average. Yeah. When I do live shows,
I generally don't go with that. What I do is I will look to see what the lowest of the same condition of what I've got is going for in Canada, because for the most part, I don't sell overseas, so I'm not going to base my price on what it would be overseas. I'll base my price on what it is here.
Yeah, but
so
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I look at 6-month average, and that's where I'm like, okay, this is where I'm looking at ballpark. Then I look at North America, because actually US is probably my biggest market. So when I filter, I'm like, okay, what's the 6-month average? And also a lot with Star Wars sets, I have to, for looking at what's currently available, I do have to throw the filter on that says don't show me incomplete sets, because there's just right when all other genres, for the most parts, you're not inundated with just a ton of incomplete sets at the bottom of the list for the cheapest sets. But with Star Wars, so many people pull out the figs and sell them separately.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like, I'm like, I'm going to sell this set. I look at cheapest price, $100. Oh, wait, once I filter out incomplete, cheapest price is now $250, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
here's a quick question for everybody. When you're talking about complete, incomplete sets, do you agree that a missing sticker makes a set incomplete?
Yes.
I disagree. I actually disagree. I mean, I think you should have to disclose that. I think you should have to disclose it. I think it's really important, but I think stickers, boxes, and instructions are all on the same level as each other.
Right, but Lego and Bricklink now considers sticker an element, and I had a London bus that was missing one sticker from one seat, and they removed my listing saying that it was listed incorrectly, and they didn't tell me why, and then I had to relist it, and they removed it again. So finally I emailed them. I said, what is wrong with this listing? And they said, it's missing a sticker. That's an element. All because of one. And yeah, it was a pain.
Agreed.
And nobody had the part that had the little sticker on it.
And that gets really, really nasty when you're talking about like really old train sets, because they had those sticker sheets with just a ton of stickers that didn't even necessarily go on. So you're like, what do I do here? I have one of those old train sets. I think I have it. I think I had to list it as incomplete because it's like, well, it doesn't have every single sticker on the sticker sheet, but it had 4 different languages and that kind of stuff. So
I also think that Bricklink should make a thing where you can list a figure as incomplete. I had the Green Goblin, SPD 005, I think it is, and he's supposed to have this neck bracket, and he didn't. So I listed him, and I said no neck bracket, and they deleted the listing on me.
Yeah, they deleted it.
And I had to source those neck brackets. Now I'm thankful that they did, because when Spider-Man No Way Home came out and the Green Goblin was in it, a month later that figure went from $40 to $140.
I noticed
what did
somebody
you pay
in
for
the
the bracket to fix that figure?
What's
I
that?
noticed
Sorry, Ken, what
in
did you
the
pay to fix the figure?
Oh, sorry.
The bracket?
Oh,
How
yeah.
much?
75 cents plus like $2.50 to ship it.
Nice.
I noticed somebody in the comments on the side says the problem with 6 months average in Canada is that it was the market rate during the previous season, i.e. summer slowdown,
Yep.
and then prices up in the winter. I don't find a summer slowdown. I've actually been busier this summer than I am in the winter. Does anybody else find, like, I don't find a big seasonal difference in
I get
selling
no
the
seasonal
parts.
change.
In past years, I've definitely noticed a summer slowdown every year until this year.
I think it depends
I
if you're a
totally saw
business.
this
I do it as a hobby, so I don't think I really notice.
Yeah. Well, mine's a glorified hobby. Like, it takes up all my time now that I'm retired. But it's I've always found it just pretty consistent all the way through. I used to find a slight uptake around Christmas time or over the holidays, but then with other family stuff since I've retired, I'm not open during the holidays anymore. So I'm probably missing, I know a lot of people that, make it a full-time living. They don't close their store as much as I do, but I sell like crazy consistently. And most of the time when I close for a little vacation, or if I've got to go out of town or something like that, I need that break, because I've been like full-time going crazy in my store with no other time to do anything else. And that's more just since I retired in the last like 4 or 5 years now. But
so I don't go by the
summer.
6 month average.
Yeah.
Like, it depends what I have. I will charge more. So if I have the same kind of theme of something and I have a lot of them, I could be double the price or more of somebody. But they would be like, the person said, you have 20 minifigures I need, rather than I'm buying from 8 other sellers and paying shipping 8 times.
Yeah.
They'll just buy off me because even though I'm double the price on some of the minifigures.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I
There's
don't.
that cost of shipping, right? I mean,
So that works for me. It might not work for you guys, but I found that works for me.
Yeah. I know with like minifigures and like rare parts or specialty parts, like I've got things that are not priced on the 6 month average. And some of the stuff lately, since I've been getting any new stock, since prices and things have been going up and up, like everything, I was trying to figure out how to not lose money or recoup my costs with prices going up, and I didn't want to add a whole bunch of extra charges to people. So I've slowly actually been raising my prices by like 10%. So I'm like, a lot of anything that's new and come in my store in the last like 6 weeks or so is probably up like 10% over 6 month average. Just because PayPal's costing more, the Bricklink fees, shipping costs more, and cost you way more to buy your bubble mailers and your packing tape and your, just all that stuff and stuff. I do have a handling fee, a set handling fee for all orders that covers most of that. But with the increases and I really was having a hard time trying to figure out how to not like make sure I was still making enough money with all the price increases. I don't know, what did anybody else do, or did you just up your prices or add more to if you have a handling fee? I hate nickel and diming people to death.
Brad, what say you?
I haven't
Brad?
changed since the beginning. We price by margin. We've always priced by margin. I have a certain amount that I need to make on, not necessarily on each individual sale, but by groupings by the end of the year. And that's how we price. I don't look at 6 month averages. I don't look at any of the averages other than to maybe see trends, to analyze some data and do some, deep dive into what everyone is purchasing and at what price. But No, I have and I price by margins exclusively. It's the only way that I can maintain business.
So if you get new stock in and your wholesale or whatever prices have gone up, then you keep that, though. Like basically, if you had two sets that came in at two different prices because of the price increases, say from a wholesaler or your supplier, if you do a margin, you'll have one set at a certain margin percent, and then another set of the same one set at a different so the prices will be different if your margin.
Yeah, the audio is breaking up a little bit, but I think I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, if we would get the same set in at different price points for purchase, after we factor in expenditures, which works out to, that's how you figure out your margin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they would be priced at different amounts. One would be lower, one would be higher.
Yeah, I can get, it's harder to do with the parts because I have to have like different, I might have a 1,000 gray 2x2 tiles of one color or something, but I got 500 in one place and 500 in the other, and there was maybe a few cents difference on the thing. I just set my price at what I need because I consolidate the whole lots. I don't have like 500 at one price and 500 at another price, because then people they don't buy one, they look at the cheapest.
It's a little bit different because we have two different business models.
Yeah. It's hard. I tried to do the margin thing because
and figures.
Yeah, I tried to do the margin thing, but it just was making a lot more. Like I have a basic margin that I need to get out of it to make enough money on it, but I couldn't figure out how to inventory it properly with the amount of the small pieces versus. I can do that with sets, no problem. But with the amount of the small pieces, it was just going to be a real headache.
Marshall, how about you?
I just part out. I set everything to 6 month average. Now I used to go on the current average. I just part out. I don't look at margins or anything like that. I try to part out for 2.5 times, but that's getting really hard since Lego increased its price. A lot of times I look for current, if I have a rare part, I'll kind of be in the middle of the group when shipping in Canada, or not shipping in Canada, for Canadian stores. So.
Chris?
I go with 6 month average for all my parts. I find that keeps me steady. If I have a sale, things pick up. Like things right now are picked up too much, so I have a minimum order now. I usually don't do that, but yeah, if I get rare parts, I recognize it as a rare part, I'll kind of go and see what people in Canada are selling it for. I have a few things. I'm the only seller in Canada, so I just try to, I want to sell it, so. But I want to try to get what I can for it, so I try to look internationally. So, the goal is to sell.
I have used what's a program called? Brickstore to adjust all my pricing, and that is
the new one. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say for anyone who doesn't use that, use that to create your sale rather than putting a sale on Bricklink.
Yeah, absolutely. I use Brickstore too.
Because your fees are going to stay the same, even if you have that set on sale or part on sale. And just go in there and either give it up, sell it, change your prices by 10, 20%, or even increase them by 5 to 10%. This way, you're still going to be in that middle of the pack between current and 6 months.
Yeah. And that's, I went through it. I just wanted parts on sale, so I just use Brickstore, filter everything out except parts, put in your sale price, upload. It's easy.
Yeah.
I
use Brickstore as well. And then because I use Mac products or Apple products, I have to pay, and I use Brick Freedom for a syncing between my two stores. I can't use the Brick Sync because I can't run it on my computer. So
VW Bricks is asking, what's the best way to merge into your inventory? What software are you using? What's the best method, especially if you got a lot of parts?
Brick store.
Brick store,
Brick store.
straight
Only
up.
way to go.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there is anything else. Brick stock.
What's the website for that? I've never heard of it.
Brick store.
Oh, it's if you look in just bricks, like if you type brick store Lego into Google, it's like on Brick Forge is the guy that manages it now. Yeah.
Brick store works great. They keep it updated, and I haven't had any problems with it.
Yeah, it's been really good.
Guys, I gotta run. I really enjoyed this conversation. I gotta run and go be a dad to my toddlers.
Okay.
Twins, man.
Actually, I'm going to use that as an opportunity to spin the wheel.
Yes.
I
Take care of you, David. Good seeing you.
Everyone on the panel
Hi, David.
is included on the wheel because potentially you could win each other's prizes, and you can win my cash prize, which I got a sponsor for too, who will remain unnamed. That was very nice. So let's see. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Let's see how this works. Oh, I already did it. Where is it? All right. Oh, wow. It just shoves all you guys to the one side.
Yep.
Really tiny. Yeah, that's probably that doesn't help. Oh, that doesn't make this bigger. That's okay. So
As long as
we've
you
got,
can see it, that's all that matters.
yeah, you guys are going to see everything here. Roughly, there's 29 of you. Clearly, some of you are probably American for the cash prize. I'm just opening it up to everybody anyway. And then for second, third, and fourth prize, unless you guys have an issue, I've just limited it to the Canadian audience. So first prize is cash. You have to have PayPal, though. That's the only way I'm taking care of that. And that's worldwide. Second place prize will be 500 points on the Bricks for You program, kindly donated by BTLGBricks.ca. If you're not already a member, you can sign up with BTLGbricks.ca, and you can redeem your winning
Save the
points. Save the tax. Get some free bricks there. Third place will be a $20 off from a purchase kindly donated James with Newfie Bricks. So if you win this prize, he's going to give you a coupon code, I guess, and you'll be able to take that off of a qualifying purchase on his store. And fourth prize will be actually a small Lego set, kindly donated by Marilyn, Old Lady Bricks, set 40263. Off the top of my head, I don't recall what set that was.
Christmas Town Square.
Christmas Town Square.
Where am I?
Correct.
Whoops.
No one's going to see it, but you know what? I'll zoom it up. Just if you want to hold it up, let me
There
see.
you go.
And I'll make it big again for a moment. There we go.
Oh, nice.
There we go. Yeah. That's it.
I like that.
Okay. So
Goes well with that new Christmas tree that's coming.
Yeah, Christmas is coming. So
the way I have this set up, we're going to do last man standing, basically. So when we get down to the last 4 or 5, then we'll really pay attention to the names. And so it's just going to start popping us off one by one. Let's see here. Okay. Spin. Oh, the sound's on again.
no, can't hear anything.
All right. So, Nicholas, you did not win.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. Jacob did not win. 604. You are not the winner. Ryan. Oh, Brick Maniac. He's going to hate that.
Oh, well.
Poor Ryan.
Gizmo's Corner. Wake Me Up Now.
No.
Who
That's
is
me.
Wake? Is that you? Okay,
Yeah.
I was asking earlier, but you didn't respond, and so I've been putting it together in my head. But okay.
I was muted.
So, yeah, yeah, it's elimination. So you are not the winner. Okay. Oh,
It's okay.
Nine lives. You're out. Trevor. Now, again, from America, but if he had gotten to the end, I was going to pay out. I just decided it was easier. Next time I do this, I will have a more simplified method because I was trying to key this in while you guys were talking, and I was so distracted. Definitely a learning curve to doing this. Julie. Sorry, Julie. Chris, you're out.
This is kind of good because you get to see everybody's store and their name and everything.
Yeah. I was really worried that if we had too many people. Oh, James. Hey, wait a second.
Oh, I got 2, yeah.
Well, you're out anyway.
Because I have YouTube, that's why.
Yeah, and that was the thing. And that was my problem because I'm using the consolidated discussion. I'm seeing Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I'm seeing all of it. And yeah, I realized I kind of made my life miserable. Andy. Sorry, Andy. That was an interesting name. Barbara, who's a latecomer, but I decided I would add anyway. I think I had stipulated the first 30 minutes, but Dan, sorry, Dan. Shane.
Darn.
Oh, look at this. We're getting down to it. Max Brick Shop. Sorry, buddy.
Whoops.
Karen, you are not the winner. Pat Cam Bricks. Sorry. Marshal. Oh,
Bush.
So, actually, let's see here.
How many's left?
So who?
6.
Well, 6.
6 left.
Ken
I'm
is
still
on there.
there.
Tracy is still on there.
Hanging in.
Brad. Oh my goodness, Brad. Jordan, even though he left our chat, is still there. And Brick Lettuce. And VW.
Good.
Aww.
Aw.
Brad, did you say
a moment
good?
of silence. Yeah, I
See,
thought I
now,
heard that.
now that would have gone directly to McMaster.
Yeah.
That would
By
have
the
gone
way, anyone
directly
who
to
would like to
McMaster.
donate their winnings, contact Brad and we'll make
Right here.
something happen there. Brick Lettuce is out. That's fair. He left us.
Good.
What's this one for?
So
He doesn't
everyone
need it.
here, everyone on the screen right now is a winner. So
Yay.
we're gonna do 4th place prize. So the one that comes up now is going to win Old Lady Bricks Lego set. Does that include the shipping?
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, hey,
Nice.
that's awesome. All right. Let's see who gets it. This is for a Lego set. Wow, Ken.
Ken.
Okay. Marilyn, you have some stuff in your store, so I'll just make an order and then you just toss it all together.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. I was good. That's an easy way to get your address.
Wow, look at that. And what dumb luck we end up with the Canadians at the end. Like, because I know there's plenty of Americans in that earlier on, so that was okay. Awesome. All right, we're gonna hide Ken. So we got VW Bricks, we got Jordan, and we got Tracey. Oh, look at that! Wow, Tracey, last man standing on the panel. I like it. You don't want to be this one. Jordan. Jordan is getting Newfie Bricks $20 off. So I know Jordan. I will make that contact.
Jordan.
I know he left, right?
Yeah.
So I will make sure
Does he
that
own a
connection
store or
is
no?
made. I'm sorry?
Does he own a store or no?
Yeah.
Oh,
306 bricks, but he couldn't commit.
Right. Saskatchewan,
Yeah.
306, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's okay. He will be tickled about that. That's awesome. Okay, so the next name that comes up gets the second prize, kindly donated by BTLG Bricks. And that'll be 500 points on the Bricks for You loyalty program. All right, deep breath time. Wow.
Hey,
So,
congratulations.
And Tracey
that
gets the
means-
$100. Awesome.
yes.
Brad, we will talk.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Marilyn,
Yeah.
Go ahead,
You
shoot me a
just want me to do
message
it as like a
when
local
we get all
pickup?
done here, whenever, and I'll hook you up.
Just
Hang on. So, yeah, VW Bricks gets the BTLG points. And
sorry,
Tracey-
Ken, I didn't hear you.
we'll talk about it after.
Okay.
Tracey's getting the cash. So
But we'll talk to Brad.
you got to. Well, I'm the one with the cash.
Okay. Well, yes. But we'll get in a group chat with Brad because I think I'll be donating that cash to Brad.
Oh, okay. Well, awesome. That was fun.
Mhm.
I promise to be
that was
better
fun.
organized next time. Okay, so yeah, I've got everyone down. Ken is hooked up with Old Lady Bricks. Jordan, boy, it almost looks like a conspiracy. VW was the only outsider on this one, and that was cool. He won second. And VW, I will hook up with you to make sure you have the connection to Brad, unless you already have a connection to Brad, but I'll make that work. Awesome. So let's get this off the screen. What's the easiest way to do this? And that was fun.
Marilyn, you should get an email in your inbox.
I got it.
Okay. We'll just go from
Awesome. Okay. Open mic time. Who has a question they would like to ask of the group?
I got a question.
Awesome. Marshall.
So, out of the people here in the group, who's going to let Bricklink collect their GST and send it to the government?
When's that happening?
Awesome.
Opinion. I love it.
Should claim it.
Like,
I hope they bring it in.
'cause I know.
Well,
You
I
know,
don't
some
claim
of
it
you-
right now because I'm still small
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah, some of you
I'll let
guys
them do it.
don't have to, but
I don't claim it right now because I claim to be small.
Yeah.
is anyone who knows an American store and with Bricklink now collecting their taxes for them, are they having an issue with it?
I don't know.
I haven't. No, I don't.
Brad,
I always
you know
wonder
any
when I ship to
any
the
Yankee
U.S.
stores?
or to Europe and the taxes have been paid. How does customs know that? I haven't had any complaints or anything.
I don't know how. Like,
When you ship to Europe, you have to include the copy
the
of the VAT
VAT.
receipt.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
you also put in
Yeah.
the VAT ID number when you
Yeah.
do it. I know I just did it this morning. So
Well, I guess it's more
to
the
the
U.S.
States, I actually don't know how that works in the States
Yeah.
because before they collected tax, they never, right? It was just like, well, you
Well, they're
put
collecting
the,
state tax. It's not a federal tax in the
Right.
US. And because most of the
Yeah.
orders we ship aren't taxable down to them,
Yeah.
they're not collecting anything from the purchaser at their end.
Yeah,
like-
maybe customs doesn't collect state.
And I've shipped a lot of higher priced items, not Lego, like with the horse end of things. I've shipped the, many $1,000 saddles south, and they don't get charged tax. We get killed on, same thing coming up here. I got GST, PST, and it's going to cost me, $500, $800 more. But down, I can ship the exact same thing south, and they don't get charged anything.
Yeah, in the last 6 months, I've only done $1,300 worth of sales, so
Yeah.
I'm not really big enough to worry about GST.
Yeah,
That,
COVID
that
right
doesn't
now.
that doesn't count for like
Yeah.
what I profit. I would consider profit on that, right? Like maybe
Yeah.
15-20%.
Yeah, my
that
store's not
profit?
big enough for GST either. I have GST. I deal with GST on our farm business that we run off here, but
Yeah.
it's separate from my hobby store.
How much do you have to
I'm-
sell to
and
get
I
to
don't-
charge tax? What's the number?
30.
Yeah,
30,000?
30,000 before you get a GST number.
Oh,
Th-
okay.
Then you have to, or you're supposed
But-
to have
but
to
hold
have
on.
a GST.
It's 30,000 within 12 consecutive months.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah,
not
that's
January
right.
to December. It could be
Yeah.
October to September.
Right.
So
Always forget
And
that.
I probably sell like around 20,000 in 12 months. I'm just under. My husband's always like, because now that he's retired too and watching all of our stuff, he says, "You're gonna have to start charging GST," and I said, "Don't worry, Bricklink's gonna have to start charging it."
Yeah.
Because
I want to stay small. This is relatively a hobby for me. It started out to pay for all of that, right?
Yeah.
And then I started using it to offset. I'm in the process of starting another business that when I'm done, I'm back in school after being out of the military for the last 5 years. And I'm working towards setting up a blacksmithing therapy and anxiety for PTSD people. And there's actually a guy, Marilyn, there's a guy in Winnipeg that's doing the same thing. He used to be in the Army. He's a buddy of mine. And guys with PTSD come along and they get to heat metal and smash it, right? So a lot of my stuff that I'm selling is being rolled back into buying equipment for that. And I was playing around in the forge the other day, so I have to show this because I know that Rich would want to see it. So see if we can get that in there.
oh, Damascus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so much nicer than
Yeah.
the photo you sent me.
So
Okay, I
that's
gotta
one
go,
side.
everybody. Nice to see everybody. Have a
There's
good
the
day.
other side.
Take it
That's
easy.
just a little test piece that I was doing. I did 2 knives, 2 8-inch chef's knives, like out of that stuff. So yeah, that's kind of where everything is kind of pushing towards for me. So if this just kind of, you ask in 5 years, I don't know, I might be too busy running the other thing to do this, and I'll pass it off to my kid and her fiance. So
Okay. Marilyn, open mic. You got a question you want to ask the panel?
I think we covered a bunch of stuff. I was just curious on what other people.
It's okay
did
if you don't
with-
have one.
Yeah. Did
I
for
just wanted to have
shipping
an
and making,
opportunity.
just general stuff, the pricing. Like, I think, just I know lots of people don't take the breaks that I do from selling. You're kind of open more consistently than.
no, my store was closed for 60 days.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, between my other life with the horses and other things, like I said, I'm just about technically my store is closed at the moment until the 15th of September. But I'll fill your little order here and send you your box right away. But if you see my store closed, I just actually opened it up so it was open during this, and then I was gonna close it back down because
Shane, So I get same opportunity to you.
Yeah.
What's a question you would like to ask the panel?
What's something you'd like to see Bricklink change?
Just add that
Modernize
incomplete
their
minifigure thing.
website.
So if there's a figure that's missing like a cape, you can still list it, right?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So you list your figure incomplete, and you don't have, because a lot of people, I don't want to deal with parts. Like, I don't. I have a bin, like one of these, that's full of minifigures that have missing a hair or missing the something, right? They don't have the hat. So
I mean, I can understand Bricklink's position on that, because where do you draw the line with incomplete, right? Oh, well, I have the hairpiece. Well, this is an incomplete minifigure, right? Like, so they're just like, no, line in the sand, no incomplete. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I also, right, understand it from their perspective, because then how do you police that? Where do you say, okay, you're allowed to be missing one piece, right? One part of the minifigure, and that's considered incomplete.
Well, you just specify what's missing, right?
They already have incomplete sets. Why can't they have incomplete minifigs?
No,
it's
I
just
don't
a
see it as a
checkbox.
huge deal.
Incomplete, right?
But the problem with that is, what are you selling it for, right? So now that incomplete is in its own bracket of sales. So if you have a minifigure that's selling it missing a cape, okay, well, I'm missing a cape and the hair, right?
Yeah,
but
here's
then
the
you
thing,
get down. Then you
Marshal,
get down to I only have the legs.
Yeah.
Well, why is it that I list my set for something, and then what's his name, Rapidos out of Quebec will list, or Dylan's Toys lists for like 15,000 times what the cost mine is, even just because he says he covers shipping, free shipping everywhere, but he's charging $45 for a $5 minifigure.
But do
right?
people?
You can list your stuff for whatever you want. It's whether or not people are going to buy it.
But when I go to upload a figure and I hit 6 month average, right? It's going to change it because my guy's complete and you sold a guy that's incomplete.
Well, no, there would be no difference between that and sets, because they 6 month average for sets, right? It's complete sets or incomplete sets.
Right, because you can filter, don't show complete, right?
No, but what I'm saying though is, yeah, if you're like I agree with Shane, like where do you draw the line? Is it one piece missing? Is it two? Is it three?
Yeah.
Incomplete
Because
is incomplete.
there's so few. Yeah, but there's so few pieces in a minifigure that if you're missing 2 out of 3 pieces, if it's only got a head and torso and legs, then you're missing 2/3 of it. So you might as well just list the legs, and just list the torso, and just list the head.
It's got to be a minifigure. It's got to have a head, torso, legs, right? If it's missing the headgear or the neck bracket or the cape, then like if it's missing a minifigure accessory, hat, neck bracket, cape, whatever, then I think that you should be able to call that as an incomplete figure. It's not a figure if it's missing the legs. It's not a figure if it's missing the torso.
No, I agree with you, Ken. It's just a matter of, right, they have to police their rules, right? So if they would have to create the rules, and they got to monitor the rules, and for them,
they're already monitoring it. I had the same post deleted 4 times. I had 4 different figures with the same thing deleted 4 different times.
Right.
So
but
it's
that's
not
just
like they're not
incomplete
monitoring.
versus
It's
complete.
not like.
But I'm saying if they're gonna then, right, it's a lot easier for them to have a program that's just scrubbing descriptions looking for the words missing, right, than it is for them to have something being like, oh, it's missing this and it's missing that, right? Because if they're saying, okay, an incomplete figure can be missing hair or cape, but it can't be missing legs, torso, or head, right? Then when they've got all these incomplete listings up and someone has a missing head, their automatic program that's trying. Do you follow what I'm saying? It's going to be more difficult for them to have an automated
but I think that their efforts would be better spent on something of somebody listing something as new when it's not new, right?
I agree with that.
So
for sure,
new assembled for new only ever displayed. Well, no, it's not new by definition of Bricklink.
Yeah,
taken straight from the package into a storage bag and stored. That's new, right? Never assembled. So they'd be better off to
So Bricklink
focus
made the
their efforts
mistake
on weeding
of
that stuff out.
creating a category called incomplete. They should scrub the category completely, and it's complete or it's parts. That would alleviate pretty much all of the confusion. I don't think
That's kind of where they're at right now.
Yeah,
It's
that's
either
where
a
they're at right
minifigure,
now.
and if it's
Personal
missing
opinion,
anything, it's all parts.
there shouldn't be anything that's incomplete. It's either finished, whether it's a set or a minifigure, it doesn't matter. It's either complete or it's not.
Well,
if it's not, it's parts.
I don't necessarily agree with that. If you've got the
confusion that's out there.
But if you got the full London bus and
item.
it's missing one sticker,
it's not complete.
And there's
I'm
no
not gonna
parts
buy
out
it.
there to
As a
get that
collector,
sticker.
I'm not going to buy it, and as a seller, I'm not going to sell it because it's not complete.
I agree.
I'm a collector. I collect classic space. If it's missing something, it's not complete.
I fall into the same boat as that. When I'm buying, like, the last thing I want to do is have to chase down that one missing piece or that one missing sticker, especially on the vintage stuff, because it's a nightmare sometimes. I see
collect
both
from
sides though, for
1975
sure.
1978 to 1985. That's my collection. It can't be missing anything. Not a sticker, not a printed piece, not anything. Or I'm not buying.
Oh, I agree. I don't have anything incomplete in my collection either, but I don't fault the people out there that don't have that level of, meticulousness, because
Well,
I have to
neither
have
do
the
I.
instructions, right? Lots of people
Hey,
don't. So
neither
I think
do
when
I.
it comes
Nobody's
to
faulting anyone.
But I'm saying, so having the category where you can sell something is incomplete. I mean, I don't like when you look in you're looking at a train set and they're like, oh, I've got the little car that goes with it. Incomplete. It's like, that's not incomplete. That's like, maybe.
Of course it is. According to
well,
Bricklink,
it's that, yeah,
that is
yes, it's incomplete.
Yeah.
But
That's
I'm
why
saying
you need to
yeah.
eliminate the incomplete completely. Completely
There's a guy
incomplete
that-
completely.
There was a guy who listed the green cargo train. He listed
You see,
each
look
one
at what's
of the
happening
cars of that
right
train
now,
as
just between
incomplete.
3 or 4 people on this panel.
Yeah, we can't agree. We can't come to a
Look what's
consensus.
happening just right now.
Yeah.
All
Right?
Let's shift
It
off
doesn't
this one,
matter.
'cause
Everybody's going to have a different opinion, which is where I think Bricklink made their mistake. If they just created a category that says complete and that's it. And if it's not complete, then it's parts. It would alleviate all this. Like, look, there's only what, like 1, 2, 3, 8 of us here. There's no consensus, Like that's what their problem is. So there's always going to be issues. You're never going to satisfy everybody. The only way that they could do it, if they wanted, that doesn't mean that I agree with it. But if they wanted to, the only way they could do it is make it 100% complete for everything, or it's parts. That's it. And there's no argument. There's no nuance. Okay. There's no, well, what if? Well, maybe. Well, what if it's missing this? Well, what if it's not? What if it's just missing this? What if it doesn't have that? There's a gajillion questions that you could ask.
I think that is the more rules they put on us as sellers, the further they're getting away from the original intended use or the intended purpose of Bricklink. Right? Jan's idea was to have a community where people could come together and sell their Lego, period. And now we're getting all these rules about how you have to list it and how it has to be this.
But you got to remember, Bricklink is owned by Lego now.
Well, yeah.
So if you want to sell an incomplete figure, like Bricklink Lego is going to might have a problem with that. You can go to Brick Owl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to
Who
jump
thinks
off.
Brick Owl is better? You leaving, Tracy?
I have to, yeah.
Okay.
I have to do the mom
Nice
thing.
seeing you, Tracy.
Yeah,
We'll talk later about
your
your prize. Okay.
Okay. And actually, Rick, I just sent you a message. Just send my prize to Brad and I sent Brad a message as well too. So.
Oh, thank you so
very
much.
Really appreciate
that.
that.
No problem.
I think that's our first donation.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, you guys too. All right, we'll see you soon. Okay.
Take care, Tracy.
See you, Tracy.
Thank you
Bye.
for joining us. Let's see. Chris,
Well,
did
wasn't
I
that just
ask you your open mic question?
No. Simple question. I can see Marilyn uses these type of storage units. So I guess maybe for the guys that sell parts, with I think it might just be Marshal. Brad, I don't know if you sell parts. Do you guys use this type of thing for parts, like the drawer units I call them.
Yeah.
Stack-ons.
I have a small one, but it's for my own personal use. But for the most part, that's what I got my parts in there. And then I've got a couple really big totes downstairs, and it's just by color loose. So I don't really sort mine. But the guys that sell lots of parts probably, Marshall?
Yeah, I saw lots of parts.
Yeah,
so that's
got there, Marshall?
I used to use like those shelves that you got, Chris. I used to have those, but those are too small. And Princess Auto had these interlocking storage units that were really good. And they were bigger compartments, and you could all interlock them and pick up a great big massive wall of them and just secure them with a couple screws.
Just a minute. Those ones. There's those ones, and then those are the Princess Auto ones. They got bigger drawers up
There's
here.
like trays. Those ones are
those
trays.
are the interlocking ones. Yeah.
And those are the, and then right behind me in the back corner, behind the door, those are bigger drawers of the same ones. I only have an 8 by 9 foot room, so, and right behind me, there's some standing.
Yeah.
I
bought a bunch of
those
the
are stuck to the
Acro
countertop
ones.
with alien tape, so I don't knock them over. I have like, and then I've got some of those. This way. I don't know if I can do it. Really useful boxes. Bunch of those for different size. Like I'm sort of surrounded by a countertop with stuff, and then I've got big Lego drawers underneath the countertop. I'm just basically surrounded, and I have a really bad back because I broke it 20 years ago. So I can basically spin my chair around and reach most things, or down at ground level, and not have to get up and down too many times. I kind of have it all. It's a little space, but it's enough room to, and then I've got like the shoebox bins full of the stuff that's not in. The only stuff in this room is the stuff that's active in my store. I've got tons of other storage with other stuff that's all sorted, ready to go. And when I think my inventory is getting low and I have room for it in here, I just pop it in here.
Nice.
I got offered some stackable plastic drawer things, and the dude never ever showed up with them for me.
It's coming. Actually,
you can spend a lot of money on your storage.
Stuff out of it. All right.
Yeah.
Because as I'm, adding
When's your
to
road
this,
trip?
and my wife is pushing me like, please don't bring more crap in the house. It's like I'm
When is
making
your road
more
trip?
of those disappear. So you're probably going to come out ahead on that deal.
Rich, when's your road trip?
I'm still waiting for the interview in Cornwall, which it seems like it's not happening because I keep pushing my boss about that. But it's going to be soon, probably in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, I'm around. I go back to school on Wednesday. So
well, it would most likely be a Saturday if that works. Okay, Brad, open mic question.
Okay. What is the, not necessarily the most expensive, but the most unique item in your store?
In the store? Ooh.
On your store, yeah, that someone could buy, that we can see.
I keep that stuff for myself. I don't generally
rare.
in the store.
It doesn't have to be the most expensive. Could be someone's white whale. Could be anything.
For a part that I just actually sold, that I'm upset because when I did my brick store update, it adjusted the price of the set, so I basically gave it away. But it was the brown bridge, and it was basically brand new. And I had it in my store listed for like $25. I don't know. I can't. Shane would probably know the number because he's crazy like this.
Brown bridge
from that pirate set.
Yeah. Oh, I have one of those. Oh no, I get the reddish brown one. I don't have the brown.
And it was, like I said, in mint condition, and I sold it for like $7 because I forgot to readjust the price.
I don't know what set you're talking about, Marshall, but you said pirates, and now I'm really paying. What set is this?
I'll find the part number.
All right.
What do you think,
added a
Marilyn?
really
What's your
unique one
most
to the
unique or
I know.
RC or
I'm just having
special?
trouble trying to figure out. I don't. Usually, when I get something really good and unique, I put it in my store right away and it sells. I don't really.
Oh, I see what Marshal's talking about. Maybe.
Oh, I had one that I thought was new. It wasn't anything I just sold it. I had this black, I call it a griffin or a griffith thing, but dinosaur kind of thing with the neon orange, trans neon orange wings. And I just got it and I went, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I put it in my stock and it just like sold right away.
Nice.
And I have some other more, I still have a few kind of other modulars I'm going to put up there that I haven't sold yet on Bricklink that are just kind of hanging on to. I got another greengrocer and a cafe corner and I'm just
beautiful
waiting for the right time.
Are they sealed?
Chris,
Or?
you got a special or unique?
I have one of everything displayed, but we remodeled our house and our display space is limited. So we were kind of into the big city thing with my husband doing all the Lego, like we have every Lego train that ever was made. And we were going to do a big like thing and for, grandkids, nieces, nephews and that. We don't have the usable space to put it up where it's going to stay. Like our basement isn't, I don't want to put Lego down there. So it's like, what do you do with this stuff? So I've slowly sold some of it off, stuff that I was kind of keeping for ourselves, but because the store takes up too much time, I don't have much time to build. I have to shut my store if I want to build something.
Chris,
they don't tell you
what do you got that's special or unique in your store?
The one thing I got right now is I'm going to show my Star Wars ignorance here. I got a free Vizsla, some kind of like Mandalorian looking character.
Sure.
It's like a $200 figure. I got it for, it's hard to see in there, but I just had come across it for by chance or whatever. So, and this is the one, like I had to ask Jordan actually. He's a Star Wars guy. I'm not. So, but I had an interesting conversation with a Polish guy. He the other day he's like, "Oh, can you send me pictures? I'll buy it right away." And I send him pictures, and it's in great condition. Send him all these detailed pictures. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know it was damaged and dirty." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm looking at it again. I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "This thing's like mint." And I'm like, "I don't understand. Are you saying it like it's a language thing?" I'm like, "Are you saying it's damaged and dirty, or are you saying like I'm confused?" And he never replied.
I'm not big into Star Wars, and I bought a bulk lot a couple of years ago. One of our local dog rescues had like a garage sale and had somebody donated their whole Lego collection, and there was 53 Star Wars sets and all the large Technic cars and race cars and all the motorized, like the logging truck and all the motorized ones in it. It was like they were partly together, but not all there. All the minifigures were pretty much there. And it took me months to part all those sets together. But I turned a $600 donation, which was $100 more than they wanted for all of it, into $5,000.
That's nice.
After putting it all together.
It's amazing. Star Wars.
Shane, you got
and I didn't sell any. I
item?
didn't sell any of that on Bricklink. I sold that was before I had my Bricklink store. I sold it all on Facebook and Kijiji.
Yeah, I just added this actually yesterday, Richard. It's from 1976. It's the set 107-1. So if people know the set numbers, 107, you might think 107, that's the Canada Post truck. No. So this 107-1, it's a 4.5 volt motor set. But what's really unique about it is I got this thing. It's in box. Looks like it's never been unpacked.
Wow.
Although it clearly has been because the instructions are missing, but it's just stuff that's that old, and the box is immaculate. It's got a styrofoam insert. It doesn't even have plastic.
Wow.
It's just super cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
That bridge number was 2549.
Cool.
Bridge number was 2549.
Oh, the bridge itself.
Yeah, the rope bridge. As for part wise, right? Like I was.
Yeah. Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, it's that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go
I
make
like
pot
to,
roast.
yeah, I'm hungry. I'm straight up hungry.
I gotta go outside and do some outside chores, and I think it's 33 degrees out here today.
Marilyn, I want to see some pictures of those horses whenever you get a chance.
Oh.
What kind of horses do you have, Marilyn?
Quarter horses now. I show them all over North America. Slowed down a lot. Well, COVID put a big dent in everything, but
I used to run a rodeo circuit up and down Vancouver Island kind of thing.
I just bought a horse from Black Creek.
Oh yeah,
Vancouver Island. Yeah, shipped them all the way here.
Is that Brown Bear Farm?
No, Andrea Fort Camp.
Oh yeah, I know Andrea.
Yep.
We were part of the rodeo club out there way back, and yeah.
No, she's getting out of it. I've known her for years for breeding and stuff like that. So I just bought her last colt from her.
Right.
Shipped the little guy here.
My horse was quarter horse from around that area.
Yeah.
Had her from 98 till 06 when I rejoined the military. Hardest thing I had to do was sell my horse.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
man.
I've been through some health challenges, but the one thing that'll never go is whether I physically can't ride anymore. So I do everything on the ground and play with the babies, and my girlfriend rides and shows my horse for me. So
right.
But it's they're part of your, when you've had them all your life, they're part of your life. So
yeah.
Okay,
that's actually how I got started with blacksmithing, was horseshoeing and stuff.
Yeah.
With my favorite.
Well, between Lego and the horses, both of them have got me mentally through some pretty challenging times in my life.
Yeah.
They're both great stress relief and great for the mental health, as well as the brain function, having to think and use your head. So until I had
my fingers and nimble.
Well, until I had a couple of health crises, I didn't realize how important both aspects of my life were. And
my guest just got here, so I got to run too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I got to go outside, make sure they're not getting eaten alive by bugs. My horses are pretty spoiled. So,
hey Brad, can you narrate this as we close out?
Yeah,
I can. Our 7th annual BTLG Bricks for McMaster Lego Drive has begun. We've sort of did a soft launch a little bit ago, but today is the first day of the hard launch. If there's any Bricklink stores that want to come in and be a part of this and sponsor, please get in touch. We'll discuss advertising and promotion, not only for the drive, but for you as well. And if anyone feels that they are able to give even something seemingly as small as a poly bag, it really helps these kids who may not, who this may be the last time for the kids, for us to be able to put a smile on their face. So it's really important to all of us. I hope you're able to reach a little bit deep down and give even just a little bit. And we look forward to talking to you.
Brad.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Brad.
Hello.
The stuff that's donated, does it have to be like sealed? You prefer sealed? Okay, because I have.
They've always had that. Yeah,
I've got a bunch of Unikitty stuff that it just doesn't seem to want to move, but it's not used. It was like the collectible figures, but I just took it directly from the package and put it in Ziploc bags.
Yeah, sadly they won't even accept that. They won't accept that since I started way long before.
Okay.
All has to do with, they just want sealed stuff.
Okay, I have a bunch of Batman minifigures, Series 1, that are still sealed.
Absolutely.
Okay,
that's fantastic.
Well, I can mule between Ken and you, because between now and December, we're going to meet up at some point, Brad, for sure.
That'd be
and
fantastic.
I have committed to meeting up with Ken, so I can do the mule run again. That can be arranged.
Thank you.
One quick thing before I go, Ken, I sent you your invoice, and I'll get this shipped out to you tomorrow. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll see you
Thank
later.
you for hosting, Rick. Really appreciate it.
It's great.
Oh,
Bye.
no,
I'm trying to
you,
pack
everyone.
a Slurpee. I gotta go.
All right, we're done, guys. I'm going to
Bye,
shut
everyone.
it down. Marshall, Chris, Shane, Brad, thank you.
Okay, thanks
so
very much,
much,
Rick.
Rick.
For hosting again.
Yep. Good times.
All right, take care, everyone.
Bye.
And we're out.
See ya.
1, 2.